All right, we're going to start this report off with the good news. Mercury is through going backwards.
Yay! Mercury is direct. We are good to go for 90 days with communication being restored, which, oh, thank God. I think there's no worse way to start off the new year than with the Mercury retrograde. I'm glad it's going direct, and it's going direct in the sign of Capricorn. And then on Thursday is the full moon in Capricorn. So
big news for them.
It is big news. It's big news for everybody because when the moon is full, it brings matters to some sort of a conclusion that you've been working on for at least 2 weeks, maybe even longer. So for Capricorn, the sign that it is in, it's about them personally achieving some sort of long-standing hope, wish, goal, or objective. And they're going to have their partners help them do that, which is a very cool thing. It's not a bad thing for them at all. For Aquarians, not the greatest full moon of the year for them. It is probably the full moon of their lowest energy. They have had a very, very difficult time the last 3 weeks or so with Mercury retrograde in their 12th house. And they may find that some words that they uttered are going to come back to haunt them. And they're going to have to end up eating them. So I'd say put some salt and butter on it. Go down easier. For Pisces, it is the 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives. And love affairs. And Pisces finally feel the love one way or another, and they haven't really in the last couple of months or so. So for them, it's a very cool thing where they finally feel the love in a very tangible, real way, and they'll get support from friends and associates, which is a very cool thing, too. For Aries, it's in their 10th house of career and public standing. It's some sort of professional matter reaches some sort of a climax, and I'm not so sure it's positive for Aries. I'm not quite sure exactly how it will play out. My thought is that for Aries, it's going to cost them at home for that professional success. So they have to weigh out whether or not it's worth it, and I think it might be. For Tauruses, legal matters, educational matters, short distance travel, all get very easy for the Taurus. For some reason, the pace of their life slows down to something they can manage. I can only think for Pat, Christmas wish is over, and now she's just down to the other things she had going on, grandbabies, which has got to be easier.
Oh, yes.
In some ways. So the pace of her living really gets down to something that they can manage. For Geminis, this full moon is in their 2nd house of money and their 8th house of other people's resources. And Geminis, much like our incoming president, have to find a way to balance their earned income against their unearned income. And that they're going to have to do something with other people's resources and find a way to maximize that without looking for new resources. For Cancers, the moon is in their sign, the sun is opposing their sign. And so Cancers have to realize their partners have the upper hand, and they have to just acquiesce to it. And it's more, although the Cancer has big needs, it's not going to be about the Cancer's needs being met. It's going to be more about the partner's needs being met during this particular full moon. For Leos, this is about work and responsibilities. And Leos have been really kind of pondering what exactly they're going to do about work. There's some circumstance at work that they're trying to figure out how to deal with. And they find out at this full moon what has been the problem, what the real issue is. And then once they see it by the light of day, they'll then be able to deal with it. Because right now they're going, I just don't understand where this problem is coming from.
Okay.
And at this full moon, they see where it's coming from.
Good.
For Virgos, it's a very cool full moon for them. It's a matter of their friends and group associates bringing Virgo what the Virgo needs to either let their creativity out or the love principle out. But it's a very loving, warm full moon for Virgos, and they actually feel, and for it may be that old love really shows them how it feels, because it's not a time to look for new love. It's a time for old love that's very, very comforting for Virgo. For Libra, not so much. Professional demands are going to take away from their home time, and they're going to find that they don't have as much peace and serenity as they like to have, because Libra's like everybody to get along and be nice, and there's some sort of complication that puts work versus home. And I got to tell you, this time, Libra, work takes priority. For Scorpios, it's in their 3rd house and their 9th house. Legal matters, educational matters, important matters at a distance go well for the Scorpio. They may have to travel for one reason or another, but it's likely to be short duration rather than short distance travel. It's sort of like an out and back. And it's to deal with some kind of legal or educational thing. And then for Sagittarians, our last sign, it's about the money. It's about making more money. It's about the Sagittarian tapping an existing resource and then finding a way to extract more money out of it on a more permanent kind of basis. So that's tomorrow's news today with the good news of Mercury going direct and the full moon in Capricorn. It's a big week.
And we'll see you next week and do it again.
Always a pleasure.